Well, this is not just a U.S. strategy. It was 6 central banks. And it was necessary to do. They basically, this has been available. What they did is to lower the cost of actually doing it, because the basis spread was getting to the point where it looked like the height of the financial crisis in 2008. And it was being, it was very destructive within the European banking center, that they could not get dollars. So I think that the idea was consistent with allowing credit to flow a little more freely. The problem is that it is just but one thing that has to happen. Given the extreme risks that still exist in Europe, those spreads are still pretty high. Historically, they're very high, even after this action. So I think that the Fed had to do something. Certainly, the U.S. is not in position to go and bail out Europe. That's completely unreasonable. And it is really hard for Europe to go to China and say, help us out. Actually, it's very interesting in the release, right at the end, it says that EU countries are going to put up 200 billion euros to the IMF, and we're hoping that there'll be parallel action. And that's code for China. I think it's really hard to ask China for this money, given that the per capita GDP in China is $5,000 a year. Right? So this is still a country that's a developing country. And you're going to ask them to bail out via the IMF these rich European countries? To be very clear, we can solve the Italian debt situation a stroke of the pen. Once and for all, wealth tax. Italy's a wealthy country. They can do that. Right? So, given that they can do that, to go to China to say, look, you trade a lot with Europe, it's very important, will you bail them out? When Europeans have, per capita GDP in order of magnitude higher than China, that's a tough sell. Will China come in and buy some undervalued assets? Yes. Are they going to be involved in a bailout? I doubt it. Seriously doubt it.